Hey folks, welcome back. So, last episode we started trying to implement a harvestable tree, and it turns out for whatever reason within my initial logic, we had some problems with how things were being set up. And for whatever reason, the tree stump mesh wasn't being presented. So let's just, for the sake of sanity, I'm going to rebuild the editor quickly. You can see it built. We're just going to launch that, and we're going to see where we left off. So I did do a little bit of cleanup between episodes, and I just went through and removed some of the additional logic we had thrown into the blueprint. Open up our blueprint here and just show you. So as you can see, we have the main tree mesh, we have the tree stump mesh with the sphere collider. And the reason for that is we have the collider on the tree stump mesh simply because we don't want that being destroyed initially. But as you can see, I cleared out the additional things there, and it looks like I actually blew out the hole on harvest. So let's put that back in there. So we're going to go compile and save. And what we want to do here is grab these two references. We want to destroy component. I'm not including the print string. We've seen that working last time. Actually, we want to also destroy the sphere collider component because we don't need that any longer. And then we want to go set visibility, propagate to children, and go hidden in game. We don't want it to be hidden. We want it to propagate to children, even though there isn't any at this point. We've destroyed it back here. So we're going to compile and save, close out of that, and did I not? Oh, I took it out of the world because I wanted to re-add it. So we'll re-add it in here. And as you can see right now, we don't have, oh, actually I just noticed that should be up here. There we go. So it's actually all right there. And that's because I bet I know what that is. Let's just check some things though. So we're going to play, eject. It's not there. Select the tree and tree stump. Where are you? Yeah, you're sitting at root. And okay, I thought I had. Did I move the sphere component? Let's open up that blueprint again. I actually need to switch these around. But save that. Okay, we can see the sphere component is there, and the stump is at 0, 0. What are you? You're okay. It's post-processing. Okay, so we'll just check this again. So let's eject with F8. Go check. We'll go find the tree. It should be down here. Dev BP tree. Click the stump. All right. So yeah, it is there. I'm going to just run back in. We'll hit this once. Go back in, hit it twice, and the tree should disappear. Okay, let's eject again, and I bet there's the tree stump. Okay, so the reason we have this error from last episode, I'm actually going to close out the editor for this. Do you want to save? I thought I saved that. Yes, save selected. So the reason for that is going to be right in here. It is been double attached. So what we're going to do, actually, I'm going to take you and move you before I'm going, actually I should have just moved all 4 of them instead of doing it this way, but there's that. So we want to take the main tree mesh and actually make that a child of the tree stump. And then just for safety's sake, we're going to take this, what we have for the be hidden in game and the set collision. We're going to take that on the tree mesh. Swap these out. We want this to be false. And we're actually going to just copy that one there and move it over. Save that. We're going to build, make sure this builds. Okay, that built successfully. Let's launch the editor. Okay, you can see this is compiling pretty fast. All right, so this is actually something I have seen in the past with numerous, well, in my numerous attempts at this project. What's happened here is we have made, I should just stop this to get that out of the way, because we have made these constructor level changes, it threw that error. The blueprint that we had defined, well, we had just created, is no longer valid. So what you want to do there, right click, open folder in File Explorer. I'm going to bring this over. You want to go to your project. You want to go into your content folder, and you can see this follows the format of the folders within the editor. We want to go into our projects folder, blueprints, dev, and in this case we want to delete that tree. And then we can just come back here into Visual Studio, your IDE of choice, and relaunch. And you should see this time when I pull this over, should get past that 90% mark where it failed. All right, see, there you go, 91, it's loading, and there's the editor. So with that, you can see up here, we do now have an error though. We have the world contains invalid actor files. Click the repair button to repair them, repair errors. And what that is because the tree no longer exists. So you can see we no longer have the tree in the outliner. And if I bring over the content browser, we no longer have the tree here. So let's just recreate that and see if we can finally finish off this issue. So dev underscore BP tree. I actually should really preface this with dev as well. This, there we go. Let's open our tree. I'm just going to move the content browser off to the side so I can easily grab those. Tree mesh we had used previously. Okay, so this is the stump. Let's see, we add that, and then we go add the tree. 1B, I think, is the one we used. Yep. Okay, just compile and save that. Okay, so we have both of those. We do need to redo our sphere collision quickly for this testing. So sphere collision, let's just make that a little bigger so we don't have to run right up to the tree. Be hidden. Make sure that's visible. And then we just need to re-add the function we've got there. On component begin overlap. And we also want to make sure we redefine that function. Let's move that out of the way for now. Actually, no, because that's the one we're currently using. So we want to go take, right click, take damage. And you can still see it's using the TF base. Over other actors, the damage causer, damage amount, we want to set this to 50, and we need a damage event, so make damage event, compile and save that. Okay, so what we're going to do is, we need to do compile and save that. Actually, I just want to quickly check, move the window out of the way, let's pull that blueprint in and make sure. just want to hit play quickly. Hopefully we don't get any errors. Yeah, let's just go over to that. You can see the stump isn't visible, but the trunk is. Let's just pull this up quickly. Tree. You can see the location. That is a relative location. We change that to world. You can see they're both the same at 1730, 1330, and 0. 1730, 1330, and 0. Okay, so we've got that there. I just wanted to make sure both of those were displaying. So let's bring back our blueprint and finish off the logic. So we want to destroy component. Can I actually tag double? Yes, you can. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't cause an order of error. Do that. And then we're going to get the stump, set visibility, visible, and propagate to children. And just for that, hidden in game, set hidden in game to false. Okay, we're going to do that. And actually in this case, I'm going to bring back that print string. Print string harvested. Okay. Can we make that sphere a little bigger? Yes, we can. There we go. All right, so let's try this again. So we run in, hit it once, step back, run in, hit it again, and there we go. So that's fixed up our issue we had with the tree. I do understand this is now quite a very short episode. However, it's long enough I didn't want to make it a tacked on part to the last episode. I wanted to make it its own thing. With that though, we have covered a couple of things in here. We have shown how to deal with blueprints no longer being valid. And that is something that I've seen happen. Really, I've only seen that happen when you're making changes at a constructor level. Just for clarity, let me bring up the Visual Studio for that. And that is here in your constructor class. Making changes there, I have found causes some issues. Whereas I haven't seen that in like other functions. And the reason being that I've been able to determine, I don't know if this is true or not, is as part of the editor load, it runs through this constructor logic. And if the blueprint reference to the constructor logic isn't 100% correct, it, like 100% match, it can throw some errors. And actually, before I end this episode, we're going to fix up this logic here. And we'll do one final test. And then we will end the episode. So before we do that, though, we want to go back into the editor. We're going to open up our tree. And we're going to want to just break this connection. Control, drag it off. And I'm actually going to delete these parts here. And then we're going to compile and save the tree blueprint. We're going to close out of that. And then we're going to close out of the editor. I hit save. Oh, this is the map reference. So yeah, I'm going to hit save for that. And then here in the editor, we want to just uncomment these couple of lines. We're going to get rid of these two. Actually, I'm going to recomment those because that was the initial. I hate how Visual Studio does that. Let's add these in manually. Okay, so now that's done. Now I'm just going to launch it directly. This shouldn't take long to build. No, not at all. All right, and that's launching there. There we go. So we're going to just quickly give this a shot, make sure the editor's responding. It's a little janky. There we go. Okay, so we'll launch there. Okay, so run forward once, run forward twice. Oh, what's happened here? Now that's broken. What did we not change? Hidden in game is true. So that's not hidden in game. Oh, I think I know what this one is. So we're going to stop the editor there because we haven't made any changes. Mark component render state dirty. And let me see. I believe this is the issue. And we just need to tell it needs to refresh the visuals for it after that. So visibility true. Or do I have set visibility wrong here? It's tree stump. Back to that quickly. Tree stump mesh set visibility. New visibility should be true. No, it should be true. Okay, so that's not the mistake there. Okay, let's go back to the editor. Let's see if that marked. So run forward once, back up, run forward twice, harvest. Yeah, there we go. So that's what the issue was, is we needed to tell it to re-render. So now that we've got that done, I will actually say the episode is almost over. There's one other thing I wanted to cover, and this is just a tidbit of information for a way to know about redirectors. So I'm going to bring over my folder view again, and you can see in here we renamed BP door base to dev_BP door base, and you can see we have a 3 kilobyte original file and a 91 kilobyte new file. Let's see, Notepad++. Where did that open? Oh, it's over there behind things. So we'll pull this over quickly, and you can just see right here. This tells you it's a redirector. Now, I wouldn't recommend touching these files at all because they are encoded to Unreal's format, but it gives you direct information that you can see this is a redirector. The main indicator that I know this is a redirector, and let's close out of this, is old file name, new file name. So we'll go back to the editor, switch over to our content browser. We can just click on, click back to the blueprints folder, right click on dev, update redirector references. And you're going to see in here we have all of these references for that. We want to delete unreferenced redirectors. I'll bring the file path back. You can see that that's gone. That's something you want to do. Actually, I'm going to go all the way back to the content folder and just show you that again. In this case, nothing comes up because there is no redirectors, but that is something you want to do periodically because that helps fix potential file path errors, and it actually helps speed things up. In this case, it wasn't a huge issue because we only had a file here pointing to another file here. But say, for example, I moved this to the third person blueprint folder structure for whatever reason, that's going to cause things to say, okay, I want to look, I know this file path to get to here to this thing. Oh, it's telling me I need to go all the way back through all of this. Ultimately, it's not one or two cases of that. It's not a huge performance issue, but when you have dozens or even hundreds of redirectors, that can get give a really big hit to performance. And the other thing with that, and the reason why I recommend doing redirectors or fixing up redirectors, sorry, it's not fixing up, it's update redirector references more frequently, is it helps keep the number that it's addressing down to a small number. In the past, I've tried leaving it and doing it like just prior to doing a build, and like a release build, and it could take upwards of half an hour if you've got couple hundred of those, because it needs to go through and find every file that's referencing the actor and change its file path. So anyways, so this is somewhat of a shorter episode. I never intended for a harvestable tree to turn into a 2-episode item, but there we go. What I'm actually going to do quickly, one last thing, I'm going to go into the blueprint and get rid of the sphere component. Bound events, yes. Get rid of this because we don't need it. Because I don't want to accidentally leave that on there when we get around to adding the weapon logic and things like that. So with that though, folks, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've got some useful information out of this tree episode, or the last 2 episodes, I should say. As always, if you do have any comments, questions, suggestions, feel free to ask in the comments. And until then, I will see you in the next episode.